Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have an elementary level lesson for you.
That's right. Today we are getting a tattoo.
Okay, so a tattoo is a picture that you get on your body, and it lasts forever.
That's right. So we're going to get a tattoo. We're going to talk about this very popular form of art on your skin. And so let's start with the dialogue. Let's listen to it, and we'll be back in a bit.
I have made up my mind. I'm getting a tattoo.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, why not? They're trendy and look great. I want to get a dragon on my arm or maybe a tiger on my back.
Yeah, but it's something that you'll have forever. They use indelible ink that can only be removed with laser treatment. On top of all of that, I've heard it hurts a lot.
Really?
Of course. They use this machine with the needle that pokes your skin and inserts the ink.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they just painted on your skin or something.
I think you should reconsider and do some more research about tattoos. Also, find out where the nearest tattoo parlor is and make sure they use sterilized needles and the place is hygienic.
Maybe I should just get a tongue piercing.
Ew.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at 5 key words that we've picked out for you on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So the first phrase that we have here on Language Takeaway is indelible ink.
That's right. When you get a tattoo, they draw it on your skin with indelible ink.
Okay, well, ink is what you find in a pen. So when you write with ink. And this is something that you can also paint with. But in this case, we're talking about indelible ink. So that means it's going to be permanent in your skin.
So something that is indelible means that you cannot delete or erase.
That's right. You can't take it away.
Okay, indelible ink. Or sometimes people just say permanent ink.
That's right.
Okay, so obviously if you get a tattoo with indelible ink, it is if you want to get it removed, now you can with laser treatment.
Okay, so laser treatment uses this very strong light to burn the ink out of your skin, and it is something that you actually have to go and do many, many times to get the tattoo removed. I've also heard that it's very painful.
Yeah, I've heard that it hurts a lot, more than getting the tattoo.
Right, so laser removal or laser treatment is something that you do when you want to take a tattoo off your body.
I think they also use laser treatment to remove, maybe you have stains on your skin, like from the sun, or even to remove hair, I heard.
Yeah, laser hair removal is something that many people do to take away some of the hair on their bodies that they don't like.
Okay. So obviously, because tattoos are forever, this friend is asking this other person to reconsider and do some more research about tattoos.
Well, to consider something means to think about it. So to reconsider means to think about it again.
Right. So if you're going to make a big decision, you should reconsider what you're going to do.
For example, I really want to have a hamburger for dinner, but maybe I should reconsider because hamburgers aren't very healthy. Maybe I should decide on a salad or something.
Very good. Okay. So to reconsider. Now, obviously, when we have a tattoo done, when we get a tattoo, they use this little machine that has a needle inside and it vibrates very, very fast and it kind of injects the ink. So the friend tells this person to make sure that when they use this machine, they use sterilized needles.
Okay, so needles are those very small little things that go into your skin. They hurt. When you get a shot, the doctor will use a needle as well. But a sterilized needle is a needle that is clean.
So something that is sterilized means clean.
That's right, but it's clean for medical use. That means that maybe someone used alcohol or even fire to clean something.
Okay, so as you said, it needs to go through a process to be sterilized. Like if you wash your dishes, they're not sterilized.
No, but if you are getting surgery on your body, the doctor is going to cut you open. He will use sterilized tools.
Okay, very good. And moving on to our last word, very much related to sterilized needles, we're talking about something that is hygienic, to make sure that everything is hygienic when you get a tattoo done.
Okay, well, something that is hygienic is clean. Mm-hmm. So if you have a baby, you want to make sure that the room that the baby is in is very hygienic. So you clean it very often. Maybe you use some sterilizer to clean the different surfaces and things like that, because babies can get sick easily.
That's right. Okay, very good. So we've taken a look at 5 keywords there. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again? We can review what we've just learned, and we'll be back in a little bit with Fluency Builder.
I have made up my mind. I'm getting a tattoo.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, why not? They're trendy and look great. I want to get a dragon on my arm or maybe a tiger on my back.
Yeah, but it's something that you'll have forever. They use indelible ink that can only be removed with laser treatment. On top of all of that, I've heard it hurts a lot.
Really?
Of course. They use this machine with a needle that pokes your skin and inserts the ink.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they just painted on your skin or something.
I think you should reconsider and do some more research about tattoos. Also, find out where the nearest tattoo parlor is and make sure they use sterilized needles and the place is hygienic.
Maybe I should just get a tongue piercing.
Ew.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at some phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
We only have 3 phrases today, but the first one is a phrase you'll hear very, very often in English. It's, I've made up my mind.
That's right. The dialogue starts by saying, I've made up my mind. I am getting a tattoo. So what does it mean if you have made up your mind?
Well, it means that you have decided something. I have decided to do something. And the present tense of this phrase is to make up someone's mind. So I make up my mind, you make up your mind, he makes up his mind.
Okay, so if you're choosing something or making a decision, when you finally make that decision, that means that you have made up your mind.
Maybe we're shopping, Marco, and you're thinking, well, do I want this or do I want that? Well, I'll say, come on, Marco, make up your mind.
That's right.
That means just pick one. Just decide.
Decide. Very good. So a very common phrase, to make up your mind, to make a decision. And, well, as we continued on with the dialogue, the friend was saying how the tattoos are forever, and if you want to get it removed, you need to use laser treatment, and ends this part by saying, on top of all that, I have heard it hurts a lot.
On top of all that, this means, and even more. So basically, when you're trying to give reasons for something, maybe reasons for doing something or reasons for not doing something, you give your reasons, and at the end you say, and on top of all that. So in addition, or even more than that, this is the case. So
right. So maybe we're talking about a car and you say, well, that car is not very reliable. It uses a lot of fuel. It's very uncomfortable inside. And on top of that, it's expensive.
And on top of all that, it's ugly.
That's right. So you're kind of listing things and you're telling the person why you think something is good or bad, and then you end it by giving a final reason. And on top of that.
Exactly.
All right. And our last phrase, it's actually interesting because the place where you go and get a tattoo is called a tattoo parlor.
Okay, it's a parlor. Now, this is interesting because you might think that you would say a tattoo shop, but we don't say this. So think about a beauty salon or beauty parlor. A parlor is a shop where we get our appearance changed. In this case, a tattoo parlor is a special shop where you can get a tattoo, or in the case of this person, maybe get your ears pierced or your tongue pierced or your nose pierced. So a tattoo parlor is a place to go for that.
All right. So a lot of phrases there. Let's review everything one last time and we'll be back to talk some more.
I have made up my mind. I'm getting a tattoo.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, why not? They're trendy and look great. I want to get a dragon on my arm or maybe a tiger on my back.
Yeah, but it's something that you'll have forever. They use indelible ink that can only be removed with laser treatment. On top of all of that, I've heard it hurts a lot.
Really?
Of course. They use this machine with a needle that pokes your skin and inserts the ink.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they just painted on your skin or something.
I think you should reconsider and do some more research about tattoos. Also, find out where the nearest tattoo parlor is and make sure they use sterilized needles and the place is hygienic.
Maybe I should just get a tongue piercing.
Ew.
So talking about tattoos and also piercings, a very popular thing nowadays, especially we didn't touch on the piercing aspect of the dialogue. To get your ears pierced or to get your tongue pierced means that you're going to create a hole in your tongue so you can put a ring or something in it.
That's right. So many women have their ears pierced. This means that they can wear earrings, and these are small holes in the bottom of your ear. But a lot of people nowadays like to get their nose pierced, so a hole in the side of the nose, or their tongues pierced.
That's right. You see people now get eyebrows pierced, their lips pierced, even below the lip, like, I don't know, near the chin, between the chin and the lip, they get this thing through it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, also I've seen belly buttons.
Belly buttons
Like
get
on your
pierced.
stomach, yeah.
That's right. And tattoos as well. Tattoos are so popular now. People get tattoos, arms, legs, your neck, face, everywhere now.
That's right, and there are special names for these in English. For example, if you have a very big tattoo in your arm from your shoulder to your elbow, that's called a sleeve tattoo because it looks like a permanent sleeve.
That's right. And actually, women get tattoos also, but for cosmetic reasons. Like many women get their eyebrows tattooed.
Yeah, I've seen this. So some women like to get these tattoos that look like makeup. So maybe if you want your nice eyebrows all the time, you get these eyebrow tattoos. Or if you want some dark lines under your eyes, like eyeliner, then you get the eyeliner tattoo.
Also, I've seen the lip liner tattoo. They do it
Really?
around the lips to make it seem like you consistently have lip liner.
Interesting. Well, I don't know if I do that because some days you just don't want to wear makeup.
That's right. But actually, tattoos in many cultures are frowned upon. I know that until very recently in Japanese culture, tattoos were illegal because they were
Because of the
synonym
Yakuza.
of the Yakuza.
And in Jewish culture, you're not allowed to have a tattoo on your body. And so that if you die with a tattoo, you cannot go to a Jewish graveyard.
Oh, really? I've also heard that in many countries, some job positions, you cannot obtain if you have a tattoo.
Well,
It's very interesting. I don't know why that would influence it.
I think it's definitely culture to culture because it's very popular in America right now to have tattoos, but in
Right.
China and Japan and East Asia, they're definitely frowned upon. I think.
Even, for example, in the armed forces in the United States, it's very popular for them to have an American flag or
Yeah.
something. You see it all the time in movies, but in other countries, you cannot join the armed forces if you have a tattoo.
Interesting.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Following the latest trends. Trendy. Besides that. On top of all that. To think carefully about something again. Reconsider. Clean and unlikely to cause illness. Hygienic. Completely clean and free from germs. Sterilized.
Let's try that faster.
To think carefully about something again. Reconsider. Besides that. On top of all that. Clean and unlikely to cause illness. Hygienic. Following the latest trends. Trendy. Completely clean and free from germs. Sterilized.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Trendy. Sarah always dresses in the newest, most trendy clothes. Trendy. If you only buy trendy clothes, they'll be out of fashion by next year. Trendy. My grandpa isn't trendy, but he dresses in a way that's fashionable and classic. On top of all that, I have to wash the dishes, do the laundry, and on top of that, I have to walk the stupid dog. On top of all that, my boss gave me a report to read, a presentation to finish, and on top of that, he said that the deadline for my project is Thursday. On top of all that, she has to go to school, go to her internship, and on top of that, she has a baby at home. Reconsider. I really wanted a BMW, but after looking at the price tag, I might have to reconsider. Reconsider. Henry wanted to ask Laura out, but he had to reconsider after seeing her with another man. Reconsider. Are you sure you want to move to China? Maybe you should reconsider. Sterilized. The needles at the doctor's office are all sterilized. Sterilized. You'll need to sterilize that cup before you give it to the baby. Sterilized. The nurse had to come in and sterilize all the surfaces. Hygienic. I like to live in a clean, hygienic environment. Hygienic. The restaurant has great food and is very hygienic. Hygienic. He's a great guy, but he's not very neat or hygienic.
In today's story, we'll uncover 5 powerful lessons about managing money. Lessons you might not learn in school but are crucial for achieving financial success. As we dive into Sam's journey, we'll also learn some new words and see how to use them in sentences. This will help us practice English in a fun and easy way. So, stay with us till the end. Once upon a time, in a bustling little town, there lived a 27-year-old man named Sam. One afternoon, he sat on the side of the road, lost in thought. Despite working hard for 5 years, his life hadn't improved. Sam wondered if there was a way to escape poverty and achieve true wealth. As he strolled by a grand mansion, something compelled him to step past the tall iron gate without permission. Little did he know, this daring act would lead him to a life-changing lesson about money. From afar, he saw an elderly man sitting on a garden bench with a cup of coffee in hand. This man was Mr. Hayes, the mansion's owner, a wealthy but humble and generous soul. Sam approached him, politely apologizing. "I'm sorry for entering without permission, Mr. Hayes." Recognizing Sam, Mr. Hayes was surprised by his sudden visit but welcomed him kindly, curious to know why he had come. Sam took a seat beside Mr. Hayes and began, "Sir, I've worked for 5 years, earning a decent wage, yet my life hasn't changed. I don't splurge, but I just can't seem to get ahead. Do you have any advice on how someone like me could become wealthy?" With a warm smile, Mr. Hayes replied, Anyone can achieve wealth, Sam, including you. He continued, I'll share 5 principles about money that you won't learn in school. Follow these carefully, and I assure you, you'll find yourself on the path to financial success. Eagerly, Sam listened as Mr. Hayes began. The first rule, Mr. Hayes said, is to spend less than you earn. This is the foundation. If you don't master this, you can't move on to the other steps. For example, if you make $5,000 a month, set aside at least $2,000. If it's $3,000, save $1,000. Avoid expenses that exceed your income, whether loans or gambling. Even with a 6-figure salary, without this rule, you'll remain in debt. Sam nodded thoughtfully, absorbing each word. Mr. Hayes took a calm sip of his coffee and continued. The second rule is to have an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Car repairs, a leaky roof, or even layoffs can happen at any time. Without an emergency fund, you're forced to borrow or sell assets at a loss, which restricts your options and adds stress. Think of it as your safety net, protecting your finances when unexpected events arise. Sam nodded again, appreciating the wisdom in this approach. Let's get to the third lesson, which is investing. Now, people like you might feel unsure about investing in a business or stock since you may not have much knowledge. So, the best investment you can make right now is in yourself. Curious, Sam asked. How, sir? Mr. Hayes continued. Take your skill set, whether it's carpentry, plumbing, or customer service. Invest your time, energy, and money into mastering it further. Learn where your boss sources materials or explore ways to market your services better. Use some of your savings to improve your expertise, attend courses, buy tools, or read relevant books. Realizing the value of these words, Sam looked at Mr. Hayes with newfound determination, regretting he hadn't learned this sooner. Mr. Hayes continued with the fourth lesson. Now that you're gaining skills, it's time to start earning more. Once you've honed your abilities, maybe you'll start your own business and your income will grow. You're no longer paid per hour but earn based on what you produce. The harder you work, the more you earn. The sky was getting darker, yet Sam felt no urge to leave. He was eager to learn the final principle. Mr. Hayes looked at him and said, and finally, the fifth lesson, create passive income. When you've applied the first 4 principles, you should have extra money. Now, it's time to let your money work for you. You can invest in property, start a rental business, buy a franchise, or research other sources of passive income. Think carefully and choose wisely. How about it, Sam? Are you ready to take on these lessons? Mr. Hayes asked, ending the conversation with a gentle smile. Brimming with excitement, Sam replied, I used to just go to work, save a little, and hope for wealth to come my way. But I now understand that there's a real strategy, and I'm thankful, sir, for the invaluable guidance. Today we learned new words and sentences through this story about wealth and financial wisdom. Remember, learning English can be fun when you practice regularly. So, keep listening, learning, and growing. Make sure to like, comment, and share how this story helped you improve your English. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story, where we'll continue learning together.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Something is usual or expected. Norm. The money that a country uses. Currency. The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. Very quickly. Just a second. Split second. and offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid.
Let's try that faster.
The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Something is usual or expected. Norm. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. The money that a country uses. Currency.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Norm. What's the norm in this company concerning protocol? Norm. This is the norm, so you'd better get used to it. Norm. Delivery, McDonald's, and street vendors are the norms around here. Currency. Before I went to France, I had to change some of my Canadian currency into euros. Currency. What's the currency in this country? Currency. My country's currency is worth next to nothing in USD. Margin deposit. He decided to start with a margin deposit of GBP 100. Margin deposit. I can't believe that I can trade with USD 1 million deposit when I've only put in a margin deposit of USD 10,000. Margin deposit. One has to be careful with trading using a margin deposit because the risk of losing more money than one has are high. Split second. The gang members were closing in on me fast, so I made a split-second decision to run instead of fight. Split second. My heart pounded as I made a split-second decision and took hold of her hand. Split second. My split-second decision to try a trick on my bicycle in order to impress my friends didn't end well. Bid. The current bid ask for EUR USD is 1.3998-79. Bid. I bought euros at an ask of $1.4235 and sold British pounds at a bid of $1.5001. Bid. The bid for Japanese yen and the ask for Hong Kong dollars are really good right now if you trade in US currency.